Aiden was fun. He loved country music, so he would sing all the time.
He would walk in the halls and come up to me and try and give me a hug or try and kiss me. He was class clown, for sure.
He always stuck up for the little guy. He loved hunting and fishing and being outdoors, and he loved the farm, and he loved his cows. July 22nd started out just like any normal day. Aiden had plans to go spend some time with his friend Carson, and they were going to be doing some fishing and just basically hanging out. So that evening, I took Ava to her softball game, and I just remember looking around at the sky and just thinking what a beautiful night it was. And it wasn't within just a few seconds after having that thought that I got a text message from my daughter Ellie saying, "Call me now."
My dad was finishing things up in the milk house, and I was feeding cows. As I was feeding them, this younger kid went into the milk house, and their dad comes running around, and he's like, you gotta go, it's not good. And I said, what's going on? What happened? And they said Aiden collapsed. We pull him in the driveway, and I remember just running to him and squeezing his leg, and I started screaming God, no, please. And they were still trying to do CPR on him, and I still was there's no way that he's gonna die. And I tried calling my mom and couldn't get a hold of her, and I was calling my other brothers.
So I drove and finally pulled over where I had good cell phone reception. After making about 10 different calls, I was able to get a hold of my oldest son, Blaine. And what I could make out is something happened with Aiden, and he's gone. I got to the part where I had to turn off, and I could see Aiden laying by the pond. And I went over to the pond and sat next to Aiden, and I grabbed his hand. And I just sat there and I said, "Oh, Aiden." I just talked to him like he was still there. In the days that followed, I just remember being very paralyzed. It was a few months after Aiden passed away that we happened to be watching the state wrestling tournament. At the end of the match, one of them collapsed on the mat. Being they were doing CPR and seeing them come with the AED, we figured it had to be some kind of heart issue. And what we witnessed has stuck with me to this day. The wrestler was on a gurney getting wheeled out of the Xcel Energy Center with the emergency medical people around him holding his thumb up. And they had revived him and brought him back. That was when I first thought that this is something that we can do to buy AEDs to donate to schools in Aiden's memory, because I did not want to see another family get completely blindsided like we did.
I've thought back to that day a million times, but I had absolutely no hint of what was about to happen to me. The game was about to end, got some water, and as I was walking back to the sideline, I got lightheaded. I collapsed. I had a sudden cardiac arrest. The next thing I knew, they told me that my heart had stopped and they had to use an AED to revive me. And then I wanted to know where Kim was, my wife. She was waiting in the ambulance for me. The cardiologist said, "Do you realize how many people have a sudden cardiac arrest outside of a hospital and live?" And I said, 30%. And he said 5. Had what happened to me happened an hour later, my wife or son would have found me dead the next morning. I'm in bonus time. We made a list on the 2nd anniversary. My son graduated high school, my oldest son graduated college, all things that we missed. The chances of it happening are greater than you think, and medical technology is not going to bail us out on this one. But CPR training and AEDs will, and you can be the one to save a life.
We started raising money to purchase AEDs, and we've donated to different area schools and have learned that they've had their own students who have collapsed of sudden cardiac death at school and were actually revived because it happened at school where there was an AED and they started CPR right away. Hearing these stories about kids that actually were saved gave me the motivation to keep trying to spread this message.
Giving these AEDs to
schools and just teaching them the importance of it, making sure that they know how to do CPR. I like to find comfort in thinking that, although he's gone, like, there's still a purpose to all of it.
Our house has never been the same without him, and we really miss him. Just by people hearing our story, by hearing Aiden's story, by hearing Brad's story, those success stories are amazing. And CPR and the AED are the key to saving lives.